Mr. John Neilson. John, let me see if I've got this right. The Chief Water Administrator, DeSoto Parish. Isn't that, as I recall, isn't that your official title?
That's pretty close. Chief, I don't know if that needs to be in there or not, but anyway, that's me.
So explain to us the numbers from Saturday. Erin said that your tax renewal, explain what was on the ballot, and you lost by how many votes?
3 votes.
Oh.
3. Yeah. What it was a renewal for a 0.99 mil property tax that helps support the fire protection and industrial development, commercial development, and water access all over the parish. And real close election, 3 votes. And somebody said, "Well, isn't that terrible?" I said, "No, I really wish I'd have only lost by 1 because the closer it is, that's the more people you've got convinced that it's a good thing." And it's just in this day and age, it's really hard to get a tax passed, but it's really difficult to explain people how this saves them money because of the availability of water for fire protection and also bringing in industry. There's a lot of industry in DeSoto Parish that wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the accessibility of water that we provide. So elections can go one of 2 ways. I've been in a bunch of them, and I've won and I've lost. Winning is definitely better, but losing is not the end of the world.
Erin asked a question during the commercial break. She said, "Going to demand a recount?"
Well, we have absolute confidence in our voting system down here, and I know on close things like that, they always go in. And as I understand the process, it's an electronic transfer of number. Nobody's looking at a number and then writing it down on another sheet of paper.
John, if somebody's going to scream Russian hackers, I'd think it would be you.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of Russian involvement in our election. We haven't seen a lot of furry hats around DeSoto Parish in the last couple of weeks. With the ear flaps down and everything.
So, nice.
John, let's get serious a minute. You needed this money for your services. What's going to happen now? I mean, this was a renewal. This was not a new tax.
When you're talking fire department stuff.
Yeah, it is water for the fire departments, and the fire departments do a great job down there, and I know they supported us, but it's just, nothing's really going to change tomorrow. There's still going to be water in the hydrants. There's still going to be water in the lines. Life goes on. We'll just have to, I work for a board, a great bunch of guys that, really business-minded and civic-minded, and we'll regroup and decide what we want to do. We'll get the money next year. The millage comes in, and we'll decide to put it back on the ballot, or the money's got to come from somewhere. Our operating budget is cut to it's just real thin. We take pride in being very good stewards of public money. That's just something I've believed in all my life.
That was what I was going to ask you, John. You said the money's got to come from somewhere. The voters might have told you from your own budget. Cut back what you're doing.
Well, there's really no way to cut back what we're doing when the natural gas exploration kind of dropped out years ago. We had a lot of revenue off of that, but we used it for one-time expenses, building a new office, updating our mobile fleet and everything. But we didn't depend on that for ongoing expenses. So the last couple of years we've really cut our budget down to the minimum. We've decreased the number of employees, and we've cut out overtime and cut back on all that. We really cut back everywhere we can, and there's only 2 places that we get money, either from the operating millage or from our customer base. And if we don't get this millage renewed at some time in the future, it's going to put a huge burden on the customer base. We're really, all the regulations from the state and everything for water these days, we really have cut our operating budget to a bare minimum. There's really no other place to cut. We're looking at putting a new process into the plant next year, which is a whole other topic, but hopefully that's going to cost us a bunch of money, but it'll save us on operating expenses. But that's kind of a trade-off deal. So we've still got to get a balanced budget somewhere.
Mr. John, you said earlier on, things are still going to be working, this water's still going to come out of the spigots, et cetera, et cetera. Because this didn't pass, because you're not going to have the money anymore, what are people going to notice?
We're going to do our absolute best for people not to notice one single thing. We have an obligation as a water district to provide water to our customer base, and the water that's in the line is used for fire protection as well. So, people are not going to notice anything, because we're going to do whatever we have to do. And I even hate to say those 2 words, rate increase for users, but that's a possibility. But for the short term, people are not going to notice any difference at all. And that's bad as far as trying to get the public behind you because they don't notice any difference. They don't notice any difference, then why should they support it? But that's our job to be sure they don't notice any difference. But the fact is we lost by 3 votes, so we need to do, I take it as a personal thing. What little thing did I not do that would have changed? All I needed to do was either get 4 votes or change 2 people's mind, okay? Mm-hmm. If I lost by 3, if I could have just changed 2 people's mind, or if we could, because it's a team effort between us and our staff and the board and everything. But you can what if all night long, and I did Saturday night. I what if a lot. I didn't sleep much, but when I asked this job, and we're going to continue to provide good, safe drinking water to the residents of DeSoto Parish, and we're going to try to get this straightened out in the future.